My name is Dallas Pervis. I'm 20 years old, and I was born and raised here in San Diego, California. And yeah, I'm currently studying 3D modeling and animation at Mesa. I do have interest in things like film and photography, and I actually had the opportunity to work with the library as a media arts intern, making videos about um, different events and programs that they have there, and also any social justice issues that I could, talk about. I feel like I'm constantly engaging with my community. I'm constantly a part of my community. Being Black in America means something completely different than just you as a person. And I think that seeing my people being killed from a very young age for no apparent reason is what really radicalized me because I could never understand why an innocent human would be killed for no apparent reason. Um, and so ever since that moment, it kind of did motivate me to be involved in my community more or educate myself as much as possible about the disparities that we go through and yeah, be educated so I don't get taken advantage of in the system. One thing that I will always be proud of, an accomplishment I'll always be proud of is a support group that I started with three friends in high school called Dreamhead Black Girls. And the whole point of this support group was to make Black femmes, non-binaries, Black girls, Black women feel supported, and we would bring mentors and just people who are in specific fields. So we are bringing doctors, nurses, scientists, other activists who are Black women, and having them join us and have conversations about literally anything that we really wanted to talk about. We organized a couple of protests, one of which was for Breonna Taylor, which was really rewarding seeing so many people show up. Something I did that was separate from this group was um, we I helped organize a protest for defunding school police, and school police actually have tons of funding, and there have been tons of incidents here in San Diego where people are assaulted by police or just um, handled too aggressively by police, and these are heavily funded organizations within our schools that are meant to protect us, but many students don't feel safe having heavily armed police on campus, and especially one that's extremely funded, and we barely get funding for our own education. So these are things that I was so happy to protest for and advocate for and actually see some sort of change from these protests. But yeah, those are some of my biggest accomplishments in the past. When it falls on to me being like trusted with my community, and not even just in the social justice realm, but in the art realm here in San Diego as well, and internationally too. It's not very often that you see people that look like me. So it did make me feel really good and make me realize that there's so many more opportunities out there. When it comes to my identity and being non-binary and being Black, I feel like um, it's always gonna be uh, kind of taboo to talk about who should be in what place, and I'm probably last on the list, and sometimes that that makes people uncomfortable in any space that you're in. So it's very liberating being who I am and being able to be a part of, spaces that do need voices. I think the protests that I'd organized and the groups that I have organized and just the social justice communities and events that I've been a part of, from all of that, I think the one thing that changed my mind was um that you'll never know what these people look like. Like you'll never know what your allies look like or the people that you're working with. You never know what they will look like. Once I started becoming more part of these groups like this and communicating with nonprofits and working with them, I think I realized like, oh my gosh, no, you guys have it together. And most of the time they have it more together than like legit organizations or legit um, businesses that say that this is what they do. Nonprofits and community groups have it down together because these are people that are volunteering their time out to just go support another community. And that can take a lot. If you have kids or if you're working or if you're in school, whatever your life is like, that is hard.
How did you manage the emotional toll of working on your organization?
When it comes to seeing the injustices happening in your own community, I feel like it will never get easy. Especially now, like recently Sonia Massey was killed, and I feel like it's taking me a while to process this, that this is still a normal occurrence in 2024, and not even just in America, but in the UK, in other parts of Europe. Like these are starting to become more normal occurrences. Um, and I think the best way that I have handled it is just talking with other people about what's happening, connecting with people who I know have um, similar outlooks on the situation, who know what happened. Um, and yeah, just keeping my community close, keeping community members close, um, because they really do support you and they really will let you know, like, you know, this is why this is happening. And just being conscious about why all these injustices are happening can give you some sort of foundation and support about what you can actually make a difference on. So I'm not going to say it's easy to be a part of a community organization or nonprofit that helps with social justice issues. It's really hard. Um, but what helps the most is just knowing that while you're a part of this, you're actively helping the cause. So that's always what helps me.
Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay,
You're
one bonus question.
Hey, bonus round.
Yes. So looking back on your journey, is there anything you would have done differently?
Feel like that's one thing that I would change is just keep that support group consistent. And there are other groups out there that were similar to ours, but I feel like ours was just more local, and it's easier to have more community when these people live in the same city as you. So yeah, that's the only thing I would change.